Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Dies Irae. Let's dive into the interview, and yeah, let's continue. I guess I'm not going to talk much. Seems like Claudia is one of the fandom favorite, basically. Like a lot of people seems to like Claudia in general. So yeah, I'm very curious about her character, how it will develop in the future, and what will happen. But for now, Bey is surprised on the meeting with Reinhardt, so why is that? Let's find out. What just surprised him? That was exactly why the thing we'd been told once we arrived at the castle surprised me so much. I was completely taken aback. Lord Heydrich, sitting atop his throne, was an extraordinary as always, and basking in his glorious presence made his words even harder to believe. The others possibly felt the exact same way. Oh, interesting. Did we get indicator of that? Oh wait, is it the time when Trifa bailed out and he's like in the orphanage now? Is it that time? So they're going to for like basically going to meet with him, and we are going to have the scene when he have to point out 10 kids. Is that going to be a scene?
しかり残念ながら真実だよ。注意。バレリアントリファ神父は蓄電した。
Okay.
一体何考えてんのよ。
It goes without saying that we weren't the types to be hurt by betrayal, so we just bewildered by the impossible turn of events. Imagine seeing the sun rise from the west. That's how we felt. Turning one's back on Lord Heydrich was bad enough already, but there was an extra factor that made it even more unbelievable.
しかし、さっきのおっしゃりを、もしや彼の行方は
Oh!
まだ誰にもつかめていない。
重ねてしかりだ。まったく。
I mean, he's still not in the another plane of dimension, I guess, right? So he doesn't have like complete overview over everyone. Unless Trifa can actually somehow hide from him.
バカな。
So only barely I could actually accept that he would just run away. But the fact that he actually escaped Lord Heydrich left me at a loss of words. I felt like the world had turned upside down. Trifa is such a goat, god damn it. Every single time. Unless it's a plan that he made for 60 years or whatever that was time. Not only that, but the god himself was smiling in a self-derision manner, as if he actually believed that he would be outwitted. A wave of unrest overwhelmed all of us. We felt like we're in a nightmarish fever dream.
ケイラ、私を何だと思っている？別に全知全能などではないのだぞ。
Yeah.
見えぬことはあるし、違えることも当然ある。中とは盲目的になることではあるまい。
Wise.
あの神父はかつて私の肉体と同調した生産杯の資格者だ。すなわち
Okay.
私に化けられるものだと言っていい。
So you're saying that you cannot find him because it would be equivalent of finding yourself? Or something?
ともその実績を持っている。故に見逃してしまったのだよ。自分のことほどわからぬものだと昔からよく言うだろう。あれはどうやら真理だな。
He has a record of doing so, so seems like Trifa at that time is unable to constantly be in the Divine Vessel mode or something. Huh.
つまり
The one to speak up first was Samuel, but the news probably affected her more than anyone else. I couldn't feel a hint of emotion in her tone.
彼はそれを見切った上で利用したと。
いや、おそらく無自覚だろうよ。自分のことが分かっておらぬのは、あちらも同じだ。
ではこの後、クリストフの行き先を突き止めるのは。
ああ、用意だ。 その気になれば匂いでわかる。
Okay. That could only refer to one thing. Back when Lord Heydrich faked his assassination, Christoph resonated with his body, so regardless of whenever he was conscious of it or not, it had the same scent as the gold. Okay. Makes sense, so it's actually not like you cannot find him because he's the gold, it's more because he's gold, it's easy to find him. But somehow he managed to slip out anyway. Okay. These new graphics, god damn it, so good. But everyone looks so, like, much older. I mean, for Trifa, yeah, I guess like it makes sense. Like, Trifa was never in like the best shape, if you know what I mean. So it makes sense for him to look like older, more worn out, I think. It wasn't a smell that I could pick up, but if the man himself said so, I could assume that how it worked. It was sense too. It made sense too. Hunters often cover themselves in the scent of their prey to keep them unaware. Kristoff could only escape Lord H because he's done something equivalent. Okay, so it actually been a thing as well. Okay. So it's double-edged sword. And I could honestly prize the bastard for that. But if he did it while unaware, it had the exact opposite effect. The guy didn't even know he was running while spreading Lord H scent everywhere he went. He might as well been signaling for us to find him. Because of that, I expected the problem to be solved like it didn't even exist.
とはいえ、王はしばらく好きにさせてく
Oh,
るし、
okay.
ケイラもそう了解しろ。
So, they will go and take him in like 45 just before the events in Berlin, I guess. Because at some point they went and visited him in the orphanage, right? When did that happen? I don't think we had a year exactly.
彼をこのまま見逃すと。
そう。しばらくはな。
Would all accept to be given an order to find him. So Lord Heydrich's words left us dumbfounded. Though most of us were already out of the army register, we still knew what kind of punishment was given to deserters. Yeah, so basically we're giving him some free time so he can like believe, yeah, I escaped. And then just like crush him. What a savage. And we know how it affected Trifa. God damn it. Christoph had to die. We had to give him the ultimate lesson in discipline. There was no room for compassion among our ranks. And Lord Heydrich wasn't the kind of person to give any.
言ったであろ。あの神父もまた自分のことを分かっておらぬと、それを気づかせるための時間が必要なのだよ。
Okay.
心配せずとも、そう長くはかからん。じきに。すぐにだ。彼の処遇はその時に。ゆえ、神父の渇望が熟れて落ちる瞬間を待つ。
I didn't really get it, but we weren't in the position to argue. We all know that, and agreed to not push Christoph. Though I didn't know Lord Heydrich's true motives, I assumed that the point of this gathering was to make sure we didn't interfere with the growth of the priest's craving. But
まあ下せぬ者も多かろうが、今黄金閣下は一度たりともクリストフという名を使わなかった。
I'm so glad.
その事実をおのおの吟味すればよい。
I'm so glad that we are having Mercurius in this form in Dies Irae game. I'm so glad to get to learn more about LDO before Dies Irae. Like events from Dies Irae, so 2000, like I don't know what the year what that was, 6 or something. So glad. Huh, actually, here I have a good point. Never called him Christoph.
前置きはここまで。本日諸君らを召した理由は別にある。
Okay, what's the reason? Mercury's grinning as always, suddenly stopped standing around like the fucking prop and moved next to Lord Heydrich. We all simultaneously raised our heads. We were wary. Every one of us knew full well that nothing this bastard ever said was good news. If the crystal thing wasn't the main deal here, then what was?
諸君らはカチンの森を知っているかな
Oh yeah? Okay, what do you want to do with this? What the fuck? Why you bring it up?
さよう。それぞれの戦場でも噂になっていたことだと思うが。
Sadly, I couldn't recall anything like that. The others were nodding though, and a few were making some pretty damn sore faces.
例の虐殺事件ですね。ポーランド人の捕虜たちが帰国の途中で何万人も行方を絶ったという。
そしてカチンの森から死体がザクザク。なんか私たちの側がやったことになってるんでしょあれ。別に虐殺自体はどうでもいいけど、身に覚えのないことで文句言われるのは気に食わないわね。
状況的にはソ連の仕業としか思えないと聞きましたが。
その通り。しかしあちらもやすやすと認めはしない。戦時にバカバカしい話だが、人道上の建前というものがある。
It suddenly got really serious and kinda personal. God fucking damn it. Because as you know, I'm from Poland. Or maybe you don't know. Now you know. I mentioned that probably a few times already during the channel history and somewhere like on posts or something, I don't know, or on streams.
誰しも己の側に大義があるという理屈を通したがる。故にゲッペルス教がプロパガンダをしているのだが、ここ数年はどちらがやったやらぬの水かけ論だな。私としても事の真相が気にかかってはいるものの、この場に限って言えば関係ない。
And we were the ones who do something about it. We understood where he was getting at, so he made it brief.
カチンの森で怪異が続発しているとのことだ。
Anomaly.
これを駆逐してもらおう。
Okay.
なぜとはもはや言うまい。
None of us said a word in response. This wasn't the first time we would be taking on such a mission.
消えゆく神秘の断末魔だ。カール曰く、前座の締めくくりとしては申し分ないらしい。
This is such a good wallpaper. Oh my god, this is so good. I love it. Look like Reinhardt is like looking down like on all the LDU members, like his commander. And then we have like Mercurius that is like looking down not only on everyone else, but also like kinda looking down on Reinhardt, right? And also with the eyes that says like I expect a lot from you, right? And also his hands is like he's like operating an opera basically, right? Like he's singing his like stuff. This is so cool. I love it.
我々がなすべきことをなすために排除すべきものを排除せよ。
Okay, yeah, well, we all know that that was a necessary mission for the two primary reasons, training and prevention. Since we'd also entered the realm of the arcane, fighting others of our kind helped us understand and evolve our powers. It was also useful for removing anything that could mess up the main act that was about to begin. After all, if anything could stop us, it was other beings of the arcane. Catching anything that could get in our way was important, and I had no intention of speaking out against the idea. Now it was time to decide who actually went there.
バビロン、K だ。あつらえ向きで。
Okay.
はい、受けたまわりました。
An obvious choice. I didn't know the nature of the anomaly, but the place was forest, full of damn corpses. There was no better person for the job. And so I didn't feel too good about it. This was the closure to the opening performance. And just waiting around sounded hella boring. Like, come on. Considering they called us all here, I hope they would send out more than just one. Mercurius is like, oh, Bey wants to go. Okay, let him cook. Let's see. I looked up and saw Mercurius smiling at me. As always, his vast and vague appearance made my skin crawl.
暇でしょうがないかな、ベイ。
Wow.
ならば結構、お前もカチンへ行くがよい。命じられたのは先の通りバビロンへ。
Oh, wow.
同行するなら彼女の指揮下に入
That
る。
would piss him off.
他の者らも行きたければ志願せよ。バビロンが許す限りこれを認める。
Okay.
我々こそが最後かつ最強の神秘であると自負し、その気概を黄金に示したいというなら止
I
め
wonder
ませぬ。
what or who they will encounter actually.
ということでよろしい。
I have literally no clue.
ああ、構わん。最後の腕試しだ。特にベイ。K にとっては意味あるものとなるだろうよ。
I mean, there's still the other organization, right? The Adlers, I think. That was the ones that opposite the LDO. Maybe someone from them. I felt a surge of excitement rush through my body. To be frank, by this point, I'd completely forgotten the fact that I brought Claudia with me. Yeah, I was about to say, like, where is she? She's just like listening to this and wielding my fangs according to Lord Heydrich's will had always been my greatest honor and purpose in life. Okay. So Claudia did nothing on this meeting.
お前はカチンに行かねえのかよ。
Oh,
あ
oh, he's just
あ、
like
クリスト
asking
フが
others.
いつ命が下るやもしれぬし、そもそもブレンナーの指揮下に入るなど冗談ではない。
It's the same pose as in Dies Irae, but it's so better. And with this background of Reinhardt Castle, holy Jesus, that's so good. What an improvement.
最後の神秘か。確かにそそる歌い文句だったが、ク
Yeah,
ラフトの工場に踊るのも
figured that she will not go if Lisa is in charge.
なるほど。まあ気持ちはわからんでもねえとだけ言っておこうか。
Following the gathering, I went on to have a chat with Samuel. I still hadn't remembered Claudia, or even the castle room I threw her into. My mind was completely focused on Katyn. This woman's real name was Eleanor von Wittenberg. Though our meeting was one of the shittiest you could imagine, neither of us really cared. We were far from friends, but she was the one I could relate to the most in the LDO. She and I were both enchanted by Lord Heydrich and pledged unwavering loyalty to him. And besides that, she was the only one who got it.
時によ、この城またでかくなった気がしねえか。
Oh, so this is growing? Oh, right, because it's basically compiled with the souls and corpses, right? So the more Reinhardt like takes souls in, the bigger it gets, I guess, right?
同感だ。そして事実だな。
Okay.
ハイドリヒ教のもとには戦場の死者が集まってくる。この城はその塊だ。もはやどれだけの数なのか見当もつかん。後年、この戦で死んだ者の数が弾き出されれば、ある程度の予想を立てることもできるだろうがな。今は到底数えきれんよ。そして算出できん以上、いや実際、ハイドリヒ教の器は無限なのかもしれん。そうであっても不思議はなかろう。
Yeah, I wonder, like, if you think about this, it's possible that Reinhardt actually, because everyone has some limits, right? It's possible that Reinhardt actually have a limit of his own as well, but his castle, his third degree is very specific, and maybe it's holding the souls that he cannot, basically. So he's like over the capacity already. But the souls that like cannot fit into like his body and and his soul get into like his third degree, basically a castle is like a storage for his souls, basically. I think like I would like to think that I don't know. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this idea, this theory, basically. Later, of course, when like Reinhardt became basically a god, right, worthy of the throne, then he became probably limitless because his soul evolved, in a sense, right? But for now, I think like this is basically the storage for souls, and he cannot, like, he's not like limitless, just like everyone else. He's just a human at this point, right?
確かにね。
I too believed that his capacity was infinite. The only way his creation treatment could be active for 2 months was if it was supported by the vast amount of souls, which, as Samuel said, was still growing. But I think it's like burning his souls within his body, but he gets these souls supplied via castle. Again, you know? So it's kind of infinite if you think about this, because it's like keep processing the souls. It's just like taking in more than it burns out. That's why it's still growing. Most would assume that it was because the number of the dead produced by the battlefield, though the land outmatched the amount that he would use to uphold the castle. But I thought otherwise. I just said that, okay. I had a hunch, no, was absolutely sure, that he had yet to consume a single soul for this. Imagine a stupidly huge gymnastic formation. Since the stress was spread out all over, no one involved found it particularly difficult, or so the need to give up. In military terms, it was an army with the absolute perfect formation. It was well organized. It was so well organized that we could call it a work of art, and became the castle's foundation in the most literal sense. The efficiency involved was abnormal. It was the prime example of his mystifying talent as the commander. When following a leader who wielded people so well, even the lowliest grunt could become a hero. Lord Hagis had the power to inspire his subjects, to lead them without flaw to name. The man took all the souls in his possession and uplifted them into legends, greatly improving their quality. You see what I'm getting at? Lord Hagis was already putting the idea I came up with into practice. Not to mention that he had the quantity as well. The man never stopped filling me with away.
愛しているから。彼は全てを愛しているから。
Pretty much, yeah.
全てを飲み込みまた壊す。私はその列に加わりたい。貴様。
Even, was that even a question?
マキナが生まれるところを見ちまったからな。この城の、いや、ハイドリ秘境の一部になれば不死身になれる。よく知らねえが、それをエインフェリアって言うんだろう。
そうだ。貴様、教育と呼ばれるものは何も受けていないだろうに、改めて聞くが、怖くはないのだな。
当たり前だろ。こんな名誉がどこにある。お前は違うっていうのかよ。
いや違う。
This was what I meant when I said that she got it. In the entire obsidian table, Samuel and I were the only ones who knew the nature of the Lord Hadrian's blessing and continued seeking it regardless. Oh, okay. They both knew. Actually, they know that they... Yeah, they probably knew everything, right? I mean, actually Bey said like he doesn't know... What is it? Don't know much about it. Okay. So, like, don't know the details. Makina seems to know it as well, but he was rejecting it. Though he wasn't opposing us and act rationally. So I didn't intend to get in his face about it. It seems like a fucking idiot to me. That his death was his own dumb wish. But I didn't mind respecting that. Wait, what? His death? Wait, what? What do you mean? Christopher probably escaped, cause Lord Hadrian's blessings scared him shitless. While Schreiber was too fucking demented to piece it together. The rest are probably interpreting it however they want it. You know how it is. You focus too much on something and you lose sight of the bigger picture. Though in this case, it was more like they were just blinded by the gold light. Whatever the case, they didn't know his true nature. And the one who thought he was all about just giving love was downright fucking stupid, especially if they thought it was free. You had to be a brain dead to believe Lord Heydrich would hand out immortality and resurrection to anyone who asked nicely, and just let them go in their way. No, they've been taken in by Gladsheim and became part of him. Yep, you became part of the Golden Zoop, and you became one. So good for you, Bey. You got your wish true. Sorry. This made me think of the woman. Bitches in general tends to see things how they wanted them to be. Malleus and Babylon in particular seems to blissfully unaware, and I had no idea what they would do if they find out. Not like I planned on telling them, but I did hope they would figure it out themselves, okay? There was nothing to hate about someone who reached the same epitome as Samuel and I.
しかしそうなるといまいちわかんねえのはベアトリスだな。あいつはバカだが、一応あんなでも兵隊だ。気づかないはずもねえ。
Also, I wonder if like Reinhardt is aware of Rusauka age, by the way. Because we know that Mercurius basically made her like wielder of Evocate, I would say. So her life is prolonged like 300 years ago or something like that. I wonder if Reinhardt is aware of that. Or he just like think like she's like everyone else here. I wonder. I don't know. I don't think like we ever have stated this. I would assume he knows because Mercurius told him or something. I mean, there's no reason for Mercurius to tell this to Reinhardt. Like, it makes no sense. It doesn't matter. Ah, anyway. Yeah.
そして気づいたならギャーギャー言ってくるのがあの潔癖お嬢様だろう。なのにその手の話は一切しねえ。正直言うと、俺は
Samuel fell silent. Probably because it was a mystery to her too. Still, this wasn't something that could be unpacked and solved with just her and I.
いずれわかるさ。あるいは直接私から奴へ問うことになるかもしれない。もともとキルヒアイゼンの世話を焼くのが私の仕事みたいなものだ。
Also job, yeah, pretty much.
ああ、だったらそのことはお前に任すぜ。だがあっちはあっちで少佐の世話を焼くのが私の仕事。
Bay is on point with this. In fact, over half a century later, we came to know Beatrice's goal, but whenever it's unrelated to the story.
貴様は貴様で任を果たせよ。勝ちに行くのは勝手だが、せいぜい無様をさらさんようにな。
So Claudia is going with us, probably, right?
それと世話云々の話になれば、貴様にもうるさい小娘がついているだろう。
Thanks for reminding. She almost became Kasumi. We almost forgot about her.
あの二層を今回どうする？連れて行く気か？
ああ？それはお前当たり前だろ。
Okay. Thanks to her words, I finally remembered Claudia. Yay! Good job, Bey. One of the most important souls you want to eat, and you basically forgot about her. Good job. And yeah, she was coming with me to Katyn. Why? Just because I didn't want her to die while I was away. We were at war, she was dumb and careless. But I couldn't really ask anyone else to look after her. Especially not Samuel. Most of all, I figured it was possible that getting a taste of battle might make her change into what I wanted her to be. I didn't know much about the anomaly at Katyn, but the situation there probably wasn't something a person with a normal psyche could bear. When it made her mind burn out and blew up, she would awaken, and that was all I really wanted of her.
言っちまえば、 あいつは戦闘糧食みたいなもんだ。
I mean, okay.
なるほど。
Wow.
では選別だ。
Oh?
は？なんだいきなり。
Oh? Okay. They got something from Samuel, that's unexpected. Samuel gave me some sort of the envelope. From its appearance, I could tell the thing inside was official.
ザムの処理をしている時に偶然だが見つけてな。余計な世話かもしれんが、目を通しておけ。
Okay.
貴様が欲していることのためには必要なものだと考える。
I couldn't even begin to understand what she was getting at. I had no real reason to refuse. Okay.
こんなところに
Oh, hi, Claudia.
ビルヘルム探しましたよ。
Okay.
てめえ、おとなしく待ってろっつったろうが。何勝手にフラフラほっつき歩いてやがる。
いや、だってそれはその。
ではな。
Okay. Samuel with a smirk. When we accidentally found the idiot, the situation got all messed up. Samuel left, without telling me more about the envelope. But more than that.
一体どこで何してやがったんだよ。
Okay.
そこは内緒です。
Okay. What do you mean? So she was walking around doing something, or was she just sightseeing? I should have forced her to answer. Of course, I'd remember that Lord Tage had called for her, and I let them meet. A single exchange was enough for me to lose interest, but at the very least, it was clear Mercurius wasn't lying. Still, the anomaly at cutting was just so big in my mind that it didn't spare a thought. I do look back and think I should have examined the situation more thoroughly. Okay. Not like I want to make excuses here, but the circumstances just didn't allow me to consider everything. Very curious what the anomaly is going to be. I cannot think of anything, to be honest. The only thing I can think of is like this Adler group that opposites LDO. But they weren't even like during these times, now I think about this. They all happened after, when they were still in the Suahara city. The Christoph became Valeria Trifa fully and stuff. So who's here? Is there some LDO member that we don't know about yet? I don't know, let's just read. This is like one of the biggest mysteries to me here. Basically, it's a turbulent time.
見てください、あれ。戦車です、戦車。
そうですね。実に勇壮な光景です。戦争そのものは忌むべきことで、ない方がいいに決まってるんですが、だからといってそこに関わる全てを否定するのは間違っている。特に兵士一人一人の気持ちについては、敵であろうと味方であろうと、彼らはそれぞれ大事なものを胸に抱いてそこにいます。国家の未来、友人や恋人、そして家族の安寧を願う心は決して貶められるべきではない。時代の狂気などと後年言われたくはありませんし、ましてかわいそうな犠牲者みたいに上目線の同情をされたくはないですよ。だってそれじゃこの時代に生きた全ての人々は自分で何も選べないバカと言われているようなものじゃないですか。
Then everyone blessed us with her outlook, while Claudia nodded like she was moved. I, on the other hand, was completely fed up with it.
おいこら、クソチビバカ女。
Wow. Wow, I love all the new Dies Irae Bey. Holy Jesus. He's so good.
てめえはなんでここにいんだよ。
As we rode the train towards Katyn, I asked her the same thing I've asked her many times. Of course, I already knew the answer, and was aware that it wouldn't change a goddamn thing, but I wasn't magnanimous enough to conveniently look at her, look at it right way and act accordingly. It pissed me off, and annoyed me like fuck. So I just kept complaining, simple as that. Okay.
なんです。またそれですか。いつまでもぐちぐちと鬱陶しい男ですね。
And Claudia is in the middle of this like argument. God damn it. Wow. Patsy's face is so amazing here.
そもそもあなたに私の行動をうんぬんする権利はありません。リザさんがいいって言ったんだからいいんですよーだ。
Yeah.
そのバビロンは今いねえじゃねえかよ。
Oh.
この場の指揮系統はかなり曖昧な状態だぜ。つうかデタラメか。
Wait, where's Lisa then? She's not coming with them? Where is she?
いくらなんでもこんなよ。
今は私が指揮官なのです。
What do you mean? Lisa gave you like permission to be like vice commander or something? Got the chuckled and puffed her chest. And it honestly made me want to fucking kill her right there and then.
だから二人とも仲良くしないとダメですよ。
Oh my god.
命令です。
This is so perfect, I love it. I just love the contrast here. I can see why everyone likes Claudia. Jesus.
嫌なこった。
The actual person in charge over all us on this mission, and the one with the highest rank, was Babylon. She wasn't with us at the moment though. She said she would get scout ahead, gather information and whatnot, and went on the academy ahead of us. Wait, so she just ran or something? Can she run faster than train? That's a thing? I mean, I know they're pretty much supernatural, but can they run really that fast? I mean, yeah, sure, Ren and stuff can, like, time stop and shit, but... Normally, that was the job for the underlings. But we couldn't argue against it because she was the most normal looking and least menacing of us all. In all honesty, it was hard to deny that she had an aura of your common modest lady, and I thought that even while knowing the truth about her, because of all that, I saw no problems with Babylon going there first. Academy was Soviet territory and controversial place in general, and I knew full well that strolling around there in army uniforms weren't the best idea. You had to pick up the right people for the right task. So Lisa went without her uniform basically, and they're going, okay, man, I guess that makes sense. To scout without the uniform, like they said, that would make a lot of problems. What the fuck was I supposed to make out of shitty situation that left me in?
レイ、子供じみた解釈は見苦しいですよ。あなたがそんなだからこういうことになってるんでしょう。リザさんもあれで意地の悪い人ですからね。私としても不本意ですが、あなたに首輪をはめるならクラウディアが適任なのもまた事実。だいたい元を正せばこの子を連れてきたのが悪いんじゃないですか。ただの自業自得です。
Yeah.
うるせえな、それを言うならてめえがしゃしゃってきたから俺はイライラしてんだよ。そういやさっきもなんか言ってやがったな。時代の狂気、それぞれの思いと選択だ。なら俺らが決めた関係にごちゃごちゃ横から抜かすんじゃねえや。てめえに筋も通せねえのか。
それとこれとは話が全く違います。あなたみたいなクソ男の毒牙にかかろうとしている女性のことを私は見過ごしたりできません。断固絶対に阻止しますよ。ええ、騎士たる意地と誇りにかけて。
おいクラウディア、お前指揮官ならこのたわけ野郎クビにしろや。今すぐ消えろと言ってやれ。
バカですか。あなたこそ消えてください。それからクラウディアもいい加減に目を覚まして。こいつのクズっぷりはもう分かっているでしょう。いやー、
これは参りましたね。
Wow, so happy.
こっちのセリフですよ。
俺のセリフだボケなすこら。
So yeah, the situation was the result of Beatrice finding out I was taking Claudia and furiously volunteering to go along. It was already fucking annoying, like holy shit. And if that wasn't enough, we were passing a bunch of battlefields too. Wouldn't have been weird if we were bombed or gunned down the very next moment. Of course, it didn't mean shit to me and Beatrice, but the fact that the one most endangered here was the nonchalant about it put me on the edge. Yeah. We weren't really in position to pretend this was some fun trip.
まあまあ落ち着いてください二人とも。あまりいがみ合ってばかりだと
Okay.
今後の段取りに支障が出るかもし
Are
れ
you
ない
even
ですね。
aware of our plan?
そろそろ列車移動も限界だから次で車に乗り換えると聞きましたよ。
Okay.
それは激戦地にどんどん近づくことでもあるんですから。
ええ、はい。確かにそうですね。ここから先は鉄道も破壊されていると聞きますし、リザさんが手配を済ませているはずですから、そのお世話になりつつ上手にやっていく必要がありますね。
Okay. Also, Beatrice on the CG looks so cute. Beatrice smiled really. That was a certain way to her tone that I couldn't resist mocking my head. At that point, the so-called Russo-German war was going really badly for Germany, so much that turning the tides was fucking impossible. Felt like it wouldn't take long for Berlin to fall. Germany had never done anything for me, so the fact it was getting fucked over even made me feel a bit of glee. Nice. Beatrice though looked pretty damn miserable. She clearly didn't share my opinion, which I found pretty fucking funny. Cloud apparently wanted to cheer her up.
リサさんですか。あの人はなんていうか本当にできる女性なんですね。また張りみたいでかっこいいです。
I heard that somewhere before. I don't know where.
またハリ？ああ、確か前の対戦で活躍した女性スパイでしたっけ？
Oh,
よく知っていましたね。
okay. Huh. I have no idea. I heard this somewhere, but I didn't knew that was some kind of spy. Okay.
はい、実は結構活劇ものの本や映画が好きなんです。神に仕える身ではしたないとよく怒られましたけど、
Okay.
ここまでもこう実にスパイ的なシーンがいくつもあって不謹慎ですがドキドキしました。ワルシャワから帰る時とはあまりに違っていたもので。
お前がさっきからニヤついてたのはそのせいかよ。アホらしい。
The conversation was so pointless I couldn't help but comment. During war, it was normal for the country's transportation network to become military focused, and the trains, like the ones we're riding, were an exception. That made traveling harder for every civilian, but the soldiers were even less free in that regard. After all, we couldn't go anywhere unless we were on a mission or something. Because of that, traveling long distances using standard means was impossible for us. Okay, I guess. We'd have to avoid the tons of identity checks along the way, and the fact I didn't do that when I was taken over from Warsaw had caused tons of trouble. This time, however, Babylon had prepared an uneventful journey for us. I didn't know or care about the details, but apparently we're now recognized as the group going on a super important mission. Okay. Not like that was a lie though. The only difference was that the order came from the Lord Heydrich, not the Führer.
まあなんでもいいがくだらねえボロは出すなよ。カチンまではまだ遠い。歩いてくのはさすがにめんどくせえからよ。
Okay.
ええ、分かってます。ただその家賃についてなんですが、具体的に現地では何が起こっているんでしょう。
Yes, what kind of anomaly are we going to meet? Nobody knows apparently.
さてね、俺にとっちゃ何でもいい。それともお前、アマさんよろしく祈りで俺らを助けようとか思ってんのかよ。虐殺されたっつうかわいそうな連中の恨みを浄化して差し上げるのか？はっ、笑わせんな。
ベイ、あなたほんとつくづくいい加減にしなさい。自分から彼女を引っ張り込んだくせに。
He can't help himself.
その言い草は。
Seeming to get tired of mouthing off, Beatrice have sighed. To be frank, I'd only said what I thought, so I had no fucking clue why she took me down to me.
ごめんなさい、クラウディア。気を悪くしましたか？
Nope. I never saw her upset even once the whole game.
いえ、 もう慣れまし
Yeah,
たし
pretty much.
彼が言っていることもわかります。仮にも兵士の目から見れば現実の人死にを前に祈るしかしないものは疎ましいでしょう。それはそれで不実だと私も思っていますから、家賃の犠牲者たちを弔いたいという気持ちはもちろん持っていますけどね。だからいろいろ聞きたいのですが、そもそも怪異とは何なのですか？
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
どうも聞く限りこういうことは初めてじゃないのでしょ？
ああ、それはその
Not the first. So you've dealt with the anomalies before? I couldn't tell if Beatrice just didn't want to say it, or just couldn't explain right, but she clearly couldn't find the words, so I spoke up.
魔術師狩りだよ。
Okay.
魔術師？
まあ、少なくともこれまではそうだったな。
We used the word anomaly to describe strange events, supernatural phenomena basically. The fact that something like that was happening could only mean there was something abnormal involved.
でも生の魔術師様とやり合ったわけじゃねえ。そういう連中はこの100年くらいでほぼ絶滅しちまったらしいからな。
Okay.
知ってる範囲で生き残ってるのはマレウスとメルクリウス。同列に語るべきもんじゃねえだろうが、そんくらいだ。
あとは英国のクローリーですかね。本物と呼んでいいのは他にほとんど
Wasn't Crowley like a vampire or something? I'm not sure. I thought like Crowley was the vampire. I was wrong, apparently. I don't know, I kinda correlated this with vampires for some reason. Despite falling silent a moment ago, Beatrice joined the conversation again. She just didn't seem to like letting me say what I wanted.
ちょうど産業革命あたりからです。工業の発達と反比例して古い神秘は消えていったということですよ。
なるほど、なんとなくわかります。最近は信心深くない人も増えていますし、なり手が少なくなった。
まあ飛行機で空を飛べる世の中に夢は見にくいということでしょうか。私の印象だと魔術師は時代に逆行していますから。
Okay.
何でも古い方がいいと思ってるような老害だわ。
We suddenly have a talk about magicians. That's kinda weird. They are kind of people who reject phones and telegrams and choose to waste time and energy sending messages themselves, all while acting like the hot shit because of it. They'd also fuck around with the nature's elements or whatever instead of using a fucking match. Wow. On average, that's how most magicians and those influenced by them were. Laos wasn't too big when it came to this, but she also wasn't different enough to be an exception.
別に珍しい話じゃねえだろ。そこらの仇でも年寄りほど機械音痴だ。あれは覚えられないんじゃなく、覚える気がねえんだよ。古き良き世界ってやつが好きなのさ。
That's even a thing nowadays. The good days.
そしてそういうもんは大体が錯覚だ。
The word traditionalism came to mind. I didn't know if that fit. Basically, those people believe the past was always better than the present. Sure, I was probably right in some cases. I didn't reject the notion of the lost technology, but the magician's worship of the past was fucking insane.
連中の頭の中じゃ古代人は不思議な力で現代真っ青の大戦争でもしてたことになってんだろ。アホかっつんだわ。
Okay.
真剣な石黒積み上げてたような原始人の分際でよ。もしそんな力があったんならなんでピラミッドが空中要塞じゃねえんだよって話だ。
The fact that they didn't survive into modern day meant that the powers had existed, but were defeated and vanished. And it was stupid to believe that some shitheads who had lost were superior.
だから俺の考えだと。
レイ、さっきから話がそれまくってます。クラウディアはそういうことを聞きたいんじゃありません。
But stop talking about. I mean, okay, I get like.
とにかくですね。
Cloud doesn't mean matter like.
ごくごくわずかなんですよ。
Uh,
多いのものなら
Doesn't get anything of like what Bey's saying. She's like fine with it.
以前マリウスから聞きましたが、最初の100年を突破できるものからして非常に軽。
Yeah, pretty much. And she's like 300 now.
100年だったら結局普通の人と寿命は変わらないんですね。
Huh. I actually... Okay. That's funny, but I never actually thought about that. I was always like, oh, LEO members are basically immortal and they can live like fucking 100 years. Claudia have a point. It's not that much of the difference. Does it even like actually expanding their lifespan? It's not. It's just stopping their aging. And they just like disappear into dust when they are old, I guess. Oh. Why I never thought about this? Holy Jesus.
あいつは200年くらい生きてるって聞いたがよ。
Yeah,
そうなんですか。
she's the exception.
一応聞いた限りは。だけどただの見えっ張りかもしれませんし、話半分と思ってください。
And also that answers me the question about Reinhardt knowing about Rusalka. Everyone knows basically. But when he was recruiting her, did he knew? Basically.
私が言いたいのは、これまで見た
I guess not. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
正体は魔術師そのものじゃなく、いわば残師。ベイが言うところの空飛ぶピラミッドですよ。
はい。
Relative with her head in confusion, but no one could blame her. What I'd said, and what Beatrice added, didn't click at all.
空飛ぶピラミッドはないと先ほどビルフェルムは言っていましたが。
その辺説明しようとした時にこいつが潰しやがったんだよ。まったく邪魔ばっかりしやがるアホだ。
私はあなたの偏った考え方をクラウディアにすり込みたくないだけです。
It's already imprinted, don't worry.
だとこら。
何ですか？やりますか？
もういい加減にしてください。二人とも喧嘩しながら説明されたら論理がめちゃくちゃになるのは当たり前でしょ。なのでここはビルヘルム、あなたにお願いします。
なんかそう言われるとめんどくさくなってくんな。
ベイ、
お願いします。
Okay. I was being urged by the two when I had no intention of giving in. But this thing seems like an even bigger pain in the ass.
わかったわかった。そんならパパッと説明すんぞ。魔術師なんて連中は基本的に古いもん好きの老害だが、立ち悪いのは思想と実情が食い違ってるっつうことだ。
というと？
だからそっちの世界も実は日進月歩なんだよ。1000年前の魔術師より今の魔術師の方が強い。
Okay.
現実に古代のエジプトでピラミッドは飛んでない。当たり前だわな。けど連中はそのことを認めねえんだよ。飛んだはず、飛んだに違いねえ。なぜなら飛行機だって飛んでるし、昔はもっと素晴らしくないとおかしいから。そして次にこう思う。だったら自分も飛ばしたいってな。わかるだろ？文明が進歩すりゃ、それに応じて神秘の程度も変わるのさ。
Huh. So it's equivalent of technology, basically. It's evolving. In the ancient past, even magicians who couldn't light a simple fire was a cut above the rest. And knowing how to cure diseases could probably make you a god of some shitty settlement. Those days, though, no one gives a rat piece about that. Thus, the past worshipping god fucks are constantly trying to surpass the reality before them.
崇高で洗練されて神秘の力に満ち満ちていたはずの過去がこんな機械文明に負けるはずねえ。自分はその意志を継いでいる誇り高い魔術師様で先人の偉大さを証明する義務がある。ってよ、もはや病気だぜ。
だから日進月歩？
そういうことだ。
What I can tell, magicians went extinct because they became unable to compete with the civilization's progress. Back then, you probably had magicians of all skill levels all over the place. But when the time changed, only the best of the best remained. Yeah, I guess. When, like, you cannot, like... if you all you can do is like, I don't know, like make a fire in the fireplace and then you have some like flamethrower or something, then yeah, flamethrower wins.
当たり前に科学と同じで新しい方が強いんだよ。なんせ超えなきゃいけねえハードルが違うからな。
Yeah. Mercurius was the prime example of that. But I didn't know whenever his whole thing counted as magic, since it could even involve fusion of the machines. Damn. Still, this was the age where the tanks cracked the earth, airplanes soared the skies, and bombs could reduce hundreds to dust. The manifestation of his arcane surpassed even that. Listen, I'm the last guy who would wanna prize him. I wasn't stupid enough to deny that he was the real deal. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be like this. Yep.
まあ大体同感ですが、今のはあくまで私たちの考えです。所詮は門外漢に過ぎませんし、本当のところどうなのかは分かりません。ただこの理屈で言うと、カチンの怪異は比較的新しい魔術師の仕業ですね。
Relatively new magician, huh?
現代でも不思議と認識されるほどのものだから。
そういうことです。この100年ほどが激動だったと言ったでしょ。おそらくはその前後くらいに残されたものじゃないのかと。原理はまだ不明ですが、虐殺でスイッチが入ったんだと思いますよ。それを排除するのが私たちの仕事です。
つうわけだ。
Cloud momentarily fell silent before nodding.
はい、流れは理解しましたし、あなた方の考えにも同感です。昔を崇めるのも大事ですが、そうやって過去を敬いながら歴史を見ないというのは矛盾ですからね。人が。
ええ、私もそう思います。しかも聞いた話によると、魔術師の多くは弟子を取っていたというから、もうめちゃくちゃですよ。あなただって積み上げることに終始してるじゃないですかと。やってることは未来を見据えた進化なのに、考えてることは昔々、古いほどすごいと最高。なんて言うんですかね。率直なところ、頭がどうかしていますね。
Claudia's too precious. Claudia's suddenly burst of laughter surprised both me and Beatrice. I looked at her face and saw her wiping the edges of her eyes. Beatrice's face here. Jesus.
二人とも本当に魔術師が大嫌いなんですね。
Seems like it.
いつもは喧嘩ばかりしているのに、こういう時だけ悪口のノリがそっくりですよ。実は仲がいいんですか？
違うよ。
Yeah. Obviously best friends, right? I was less about magician. It was less about magicians and more about just Mercurius for me. I couldn't stomach the guy, and everyone besides Lord Heydrich felt the same way. This matter was on a whole different level than just getting along. Beatrice and I said everything we could to fix Claudia's demanding evaluation, but she just smiled and nodded all the way through. In that moment, the train suddenly stopped.
あ、着いたみたいですよ。じゃあ次の任務に出発進行。
Hell yeah, let's go. I could only hope that we would meet up with the Babylon as soon as possible. I knew it was my own fault for dragging her along, but taking care of the substitute leader was about to make me snap. Okay. Interesting. So the main game, basically, of Interview with Kaziklu Bey is going to have place in the forest of Katin. Okay. And we're hunting some anomaly that seems to be a magician. Relatively new magician. So I'm very curious how this is going to be. I just thought about it, and I think I know whom we might see. I didn't thought about this because like I've been just too focused on the story, but now when I'm ending episode I remember that when we saw opening there was like some new guy, some new character that I didn't saw before, so I assume he's the anomaly and we're going to fight him. I don't know his name. I forgot. I think it was in the opening, but it doesn't matter. We're going to meet him anyway here. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you everyone for being with me. Leave up a like if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you like to support me and see the episodes in there. Thank you once again, and for now Pocket Watch, let's get out.